Hello everyone! Hi there and welcome to the Calgary Zoo. Today we are coming to you live with our gorilla troop, and I'm here right now with zookeeper Patrick, and he's going to share some fun and interesting facts about our troop, and he's also going to do a scatter feed for us. Let's switch this around.
Okay.
There we go. Patrick, say hello to everyone.
Hello. So we are going to do a scatter feed right now. So just some veggies and some biscuits for the gorillas, which, I mean, some of their favorites, but a lot of just kind of their regular diet. And we've got a lot of them just in front of us right now. Just on the furthest one on the left is going to be Yawande. And her mother, Zuri, just came out of the little overhang there, and she's kind of moving a little bit farther away. She may not be that hungry right now. Our youngest, Kamani, is just on top, just in the wood chips there, just having a little bit of fun. And of course, the silverback Jasiri is approaching, looking to grab a little bit of the food, get his favorites first. And then the final two are Dossie and Kyoja, just in front of the little cave there, in front of the cargo net. Dossie on the left, Kyoja on the right. And they are half sisters that came to us from the Bronx Zoo a number of years ago. So Kamani just dumping a bunch of shavings right on top of Dossie there.
Look at Kamani.
Having a bunch of fun.
Having some fun. It's a beautiful day here in Calgary today, and we are outside with the gorilla troop.
And yeah, so it's, I mean, perfect day for the gorillas to be out. It's kind of above 8 degrees right now, kind of in this area, nice and warm in the sun. And it's a great opportunity to get our troop outside, and it's a great learning opportunity for them, because Jasiri, of course, hasn't been here all that long. So we're still kind of working through the different areas with the gorilla troop, getting them used to it, getting ready for like the summertime when we'll be outside a lot. So this is just a great opportunity to get them out and get them a little bit of sunshine.
Awesome. We have Mila and Summer. They're aged 5 and 3.
Perfect.
And they would love to know what our gorillas love to eat.
What do they love to eat? So I mean, like, every gorilla has its like favorite food. So if you look at Jasiri right now, he's got broccoli and pretty much grabbed almost all of the lettuce, and he's just got it all stockpiled right at his feet. That's one of his favorite things to eat during a scatter feed. For our other gorillas, they tend to go after some of the more high quality food items like the tomatoes and like bell peppers and things like that. Those tend to be their favorites, but everybody's just a little bit different. So again, Jasiri, broccoli, celery, lettuce. Kale is one of his favorites. Everybody else hates kale.
Kale!
Yeah. And then, yeah, for the rest of these guys, tomatoes, yams, carrots are going to be some of their top items.
Chantel is wondering, what do our gorillas think of snow?
What do they think of snow? They tend to tolerate it fairly well. It's not necessarily their favorite, though. They don't like to be cold. So usually if we let them out when it's nice and warm during a Chinook, when there's snow on the ground, usually you'll see them running around on 2 feet just to keep their hands out of the snow and keep it from getting cold. And then they'll kind of run up into the trees, up into the ground. And we tend to kind of clear off big areas for them so they don't have to sit in the snow if they don't want to. But they do enjoy it. They love playing in it. They'll wrestle around. They'll kind of dunk each other into snowbanks. And even in the summertime or the wintertime when it's too cold for them to be outside, we'll actually grab big buckets of snow and bring it in for them, and they love to pick through it and play with it and throw it around.
Very cool. We have Taylor wondering, how old or how long do gorillas typically live in the wild? And maybe you can share some of the ages of our gorillas here in our troop.
Sure, yeah. So in the wild, it depends. I mean, the life expectancy of a male gorilla is very different from a female gorilla. And in the wild, compared to in captivity, tends to be a little bit shorter. So a male gorilla typically lives into their mid to late 30s, sometimes longer. There are instances in captivity of male gorillas living into their 50s, but that's definitely an exception as opposed to the rule. For female gorillas, they can live into their 40s and 50s fairly easily. They tend to have a much longer life expectancy than the males. Here at the zoo, our oldest gorilla is Zuri. Zuri was born in 1996, I believe. So she's just kind of in her early 20s. Kioja and Dossie are the same age. They're just in their late teens right now, so I believe 17, 18 years old. Jasiri just turned 21.
Wow.
And then little Kamani here, she was, actually I'm blanking on her age right now, I believe 4.
I think she just had her fourth birthday recently.
It's hard to keep track sometimes, but yes, so she's just a little one, but she is getting older and she's starting to become more of a not necessarily adult gorilla, but sort of sub-adult gorilla. She used to have a little milk spot, so a little white spot on her bum, and that kind of allowed her to get away with kind of social interactions that aren't appropriate in a gorilla troop, but she's losing that milk spot now, and so she's going to be expected to behave like a normal gorilla pretty soon. She's not going to get away with stealing people's food and being rude and staring at people for that much longer.
So we have Samantha wondering, where do our gorillas sleep at night? And Cheryl is wondering how many hours a day they sleep.
That's a very good question. So how many hours a day? They do sleep a fair amount of time. These guys tend to go to bed early, so they'll go to sleep at about like 5 o'clock, and then they'll wake up basically when the sun comes up. So I mean, they tend to get up a little earlier, kind of getting into this time of year. So they're sleeping well over 12 hours a day. Where they sleep, they can kind of sleep wherever they want for the most part. We typically just give them access. In the wintertime, obviously they're going to be inside. They're going to be inside our main gorilla exhibit, and they'll all go and make their own beds, usually out of wood wool or shavings or sometimes boxes and stuff, and they'll make a little bed for themselves and they'll sleep there. But in the summertime, they'll have access outside as well, and sometimes they'll come out here and build beds and sleep out here. So it's kind of their choice.
Very cool. So Iris is wondering, do they enjoy eating fruit?
They absolutely love eating fruit. Fruit is definitely one of their favorite things. We don't feed them a whole lot of fruit, and there's a couple reasons for that. Obviously, fruit's high in sugar, and so that can kind of give them some tooth problems. And also, if they eat a lot of fruit, then they tend to get fat. So Western lowland gorillas actually in the wild tend to eat more fruit than any other type of gorilla, but the types of fruits that they're eating in the wild are nothing like the fruits that we have access to here in, say, North America. Obviously, an apple has a much higher sugar content, much higher calorie content than the types of fruit that they would eat in the wild. So vegetables are kind of the healthiest thing for them, and that makes up the vast majority of their diet. What we use fruit for is that we will use fruit to get them to come into their back holding area when we need to clean the exhibit. And we also use the fruit for training, so as rewards for them doing various behaviors such as opening up their mouth so we can look at their teeth, presenting various body parts so we can get a look at it, so presenting their feet and their back, and even doing things like injection training so we can train them to accept injections from our veterinary staff.
Awesome. So we have Pam wondering, for our troop, do we have a mixture of males and females? And maybe you can share a little bit about why we have what we have.
Sure, yeah. So right now, our troop consists of a single male, so that's Jasiri, who's just kind of front and center right now. And then everybody else is a female gorilla. And of course, that's just sort of a typical kind of makeup of a gorilla troop. So Jasiri is kind of the one in charge, so he's kind of the dominant male. And then the females, not that they don't get their own say in how the troop runs, but he's the one that's kind of the protector. He's the one that kind of gets most of the best food and things like that. And he's not really going to tolerate another male being around unless it's going to be, say, a subadult male like one of his sons.
Right.
If when it comes to these guys, yeah, they don't typically get along when there's females in the mix. In the wild and in captivity, you can see bachelor troops, which will just be entirely composed of males. In the wild, they tend to hang out together just as defense mechanisms and just kind of for that social interaction. But yeah, they typically in a gorilla troop, you're going to have one male and then everybody else is going to be a girl.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Look at the gang out here enjoying this weather.
Yeah, they're having a good time. Jasiri's just snacking, but I can see Zuri at the back. She's ripping up some wood wool, probably making a bit of a nest, or just kind of having a little bit of fun. And everybody else is just kind of watching Jasiri. Yui and Kamani were kind of running around playing. So it's a great day for them to be outside. It's really exciting to get them used to this, and so we can in the summertime, kind of make more use of this yard.
That is so true. We have a few people saying that they really enjoy the gorillas. This is their favorite part of the zoo to come to visit, and we love to hear that. We have Talia. She's 6 years old, and she's wondering why gorillas sometimes pound their chest.
So, I mean, you can see, actually, Yolande is doing it right now. She's actually beating on her chest a little bit. That's more of like an excitement thing. But typically gorillas will beat on their chest as a display. And it can be for a variety of different reasons, but sometimes it's like an intimidation thing. Sometimes it's just like a social thing. Sometimes they're just having a lot of fun and they're just really excited. But yeah, what you'll see them do is they just cup their hands so they make a really loud noise, and then they just kind of start beating on their chest, and it's pretty fun to watch.
Awesome.
Don't know if you'll do it again.
Patrick, what do you like most about working here with our gorilla troop?
I mean, I think the gorillas are just they're so fascinating to work with. They're just such a cool animal. It's been such a great learning experience with Jasiri coming in. And it's not something you necessarily get an opportunity to do very often. See, like bringing in a new silverback and then introducing him to the troop is something that's really, really cool. And that was a really, really cool thing to get to do. And yeah, it's just definitely it's a very rare opportunity to get to work with these animals, and so you kind of learn to appreciate it every day.
That is awesome. I love the gorillas. Our troop here are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And look at them back there.
Yeah, just see.
Here it comes. Who's this running up right now?
That's Yui. So yeah, she's been beating on her chest and just kind of doing laps. I think she and Kamani are kind of doing a bit of a wrestling match. Kamani just kind of ran over to, I can't see if that's Zuri or Kyoja, maybe trying to get a little bit of protection from Yui, kind of rolling her around a little bit.
Having some fun.
Yeah,
enjoying
absolutely.
the weather, enjoying being outside. Well, this was awesome. Thanks so much, Patrick, for sharing a bit about the troop with us here today. And, oh, look at little Kamani there. Giving a scatter feed and taking us outside with our troop so that Calgary here can see a little bit of what's been going on. And you guys, I think we're going to wrap this up for today, but I appreciate everybody tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this quick look here at our gorilla troop. Give you a little shot down here before we sign off. So while our doors are closed here at the zoo, we are doing our best to keep you guys connected daily. You can check back in later to have a look at our daily dose for today. Be sure you guys tune in tomorrow and catch our Facebook Live story time. That's always a fun one. And if you are in a position to give, we do appreciate it. Check the link in the description of this video. And every gift matters. We value all of your support, and we thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks again, and thank you for supporting wildlife conservation. Bye-bye.